Good evening, YouTube. So I'm processing a bunch of my 20p battery holder pieces here. So yeah, after I print these, they come out as a pair like this on my printer. I snap them in two, and then I run them through my bandsaw to cut off the built-in support or brim components that are part of these models. So there's some little feet that stick off the side. Yeah, so after cutting this on a saw, I used to use a deburring tool like this. Yeah, with the PLA, the deburring tool just doesn't work very well. It worked well on the first ones I did with ABS plastic, but ABS is just a little bit too hard to print. It was about a little over 10 inches long, and it's really hard to do the ABS without it warping. I did about 12 sets of these in ABS, but it's a lot nicer in PLA. Okay, so what I'm doing instead of using the deburring tool is I get a Sureform plane, one of these tooth woodworking planes. I find this long-handled one works pretty well, and then I have a half-round file that I use for some of the cleanup. But I chuck one of these up in the vise, and you just give it a shot like that. That cleans off the edge, and then usually if you just hit it with a file, kind of take off the sharp corner there. And then there's a little bit of brim kind of material that's part of the model here on the end. You just break that off with a file, so you get that piece broken off. And then I just take the file, and I like to knock off this corner because sometimes it's a little sharp there, and also down here, get that edge and that corner. It takes under 30 seconds for that side, and you flip it and repeat. And you just want to go until the brim material here on the edge is gone, and then maybe give it a shot with the file, and then kind of clean up that corner and just take off that sharp edge there. And then you got the same thing over here. One down. I've got 19 more of these to do. And then the other thing you need to do is come in here and break out all of the little support pieces that are part of this model. So let me show you that here. I'll do this over a garbage can. And what you need to do is come in here with like a needle nose pliers, and you just snap those out. So usually if you go down one side, if you do this over a garbage can, you just pop those off. You can turn it around, pop those four off, and then I like to just do one side so I have that motion going. You can see where you break those supports off. There's like little nibs sticking out, and you're poking your fingers down in this opening to hold down like the fuse wire and your jumper wire. So I kind of like to take a deburring tool and just run it around that opening. And then the last thing you have to do is you typically have to run a drill bit through these three holes here. That's where your screws go that hold the top to the bottom. And then usually one of these holes needs to get drilled for the terminal that I use here in the middle. But I usually wait until I put the flag terminal in there and then drill through the terminal and through the hole all at the same time. Sometimes the hole in the flag terminal doesn't quite line up with the hole in the battery bracket, so I do that later. But then you can drill these three holes just so that they're ready to go when you put everything together. So you've got about 5 minutes per part, so I guess I've got about an hour and a half worth of work here to process 10 pair, so I'm doing 20 of these. Yeah, it's probably hour and a half to go through that many. Yeah, and one safety tip, even though you're using hand tools, definitely do the safety glasses while you're doing this, because especially with PLA, I find it's really brittle, and these little chips come off of here and just fly all over the place. And I find the best way to do the filing is to pull it towards you, but when you're doing that, the chips will fly off right at you. So I've got like chips all over the front of my shirt. Definitely wear the safety glasses while you're doing that. And yeah, you might even wear gloves, because some of these edges are really sharp. Actually, I think it's probably better not to wear gloves, just so that you can feel the edge when you're done. You know, if you can run, like if you run your finger over and it's got a sharp spot there, you might not feel that with gloves on. I don't know, maybe wear one glove and keep one hand ungloved, just so you can feel if it's smooth, if there's a little sharp spot. I'd rather feel it now and get rid of it than find it by accident later. There we go. Got 10 pair of battery holders. Yeah, I think they come out okay when you paint them. I don't bother completely painting everything. It's just so I know red is positive, black is negative. The white seems to take paint pretty well. I think I have 6 more pair of these to print. I have one printing today. I printed one yesterday, and then I have 4 more. And then I'll have enough battery holders to go through the rest of my BAK cells. Once I get the other 6 done, this will be enough for 4 4S batteries, and I have one there already. So yeah, this will be another 2 kilowatt hours when I get this set plus the next 6. Definitely the way to do it is get a bunch of these and then process them at once. So that was probably about an hour's worth of work to post-process these off the 3D printer, snap them apart, then trim off the excess on the bandsaw, then the Sureform file and the flat file, and then I break out all the supports with needle nose pliers. If you just go up one side and then flip the piece around and go up the other side, and then I use my deburring tool and just go across one side, flip it over, go across the other side. That way you can kind of just use your hand grip to pull the deburring tool across there. Clean them up, paint the red ones, paint the black ones, and leave them out to dry for a day, and they're good to go. So now I have to get some more wires. I need to get my bus wires bent, and then let's see, I've got to do the terminals, and then I got to spot weld a bunch of cells together and start building batteries. So there we go. I'll put some update videos over here on the left side, show you the progress on this. And if you have any questions about the cell holders or process, post up in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.